All right, that Nintendo Direct was not that great. It was not that great. And I have a note card here, just like having a couple of bullet points. I'm going to go through them, but I want to make something clear. As a kid, when I used to go into Nintendo Directs, I used to have a vast amount of just, you know, oh my God, this and that is going to be. And then I build up this crazy hype for nothing. And a lot of people still do that. I have learned to be, you know, a, a, a compressed adult, whatever you want to call it, that suppresses and manages expectations because I know that Nintendo is not going to just, throw everything at us. They're not here to, well, they are here to entertain us, but they're not necessarily here to give us exactly what we want. They give us exactly what they think that the company needs. And that's something important to know. But that being said, coming into this Nintendo Direct partner showcase to be, you know, specific, I don't know why I couldn't think of the word there, but to be specific, I came into this, manage expectations, and, it was okay. At the end of the day, I was like, you know what? Maybe there would be something with Expedition 33, Doom the Dark Ages, some current gen stuff, but we didn't really get that. We kind of just got stuff that's, you know, predictable, stuff that's quite frankly crap. It was shit. It was shit. It was shit. And it's unfortunate. But I'm going to give the list of games that were notable to me. Here are the things that were notable to me. And then I want to explain something going forward with this company because I feel like it's going down a path of just not necessarily nonstop L's, but more so just, they're going down a different route. And I'm just not sure if they're really hype anymore. They're kind of just very, here it is. It's kind of like one of those people that they've been working on something for a long time and they say that they're working on that one thing for a long time, and then it's you're expecting this really good product when it comes to that group project or whatever the case may be, and then the day comes and it's like, did you just do this last minute? Like, was this really it? Like, come on, like what is this? But no, some of the notable things to me were Orbitals. I think that game is absolutely astonishing. I think the fact that that game it is even like working on Nintendo Switch 2 is kind of crazy. It has like this Sailor Moon esque type of aesthetic. And I noticed that a lot of people have been kind of saying that for, the past couple of times that it's been announced, aka only twice. Because I remember the Game Awards having this, it was announced there, it was an amazing trailer. And then the second one here, they showed us some more footage and I guess some more cutscenes. And honestly, I have no idea what the story is about. And I don't even care. I just want to play it with another person. And it's gonna be a lot of fun, to be honest with you. The next thing that was here was also Tokyo Scramble. Now I don't know if this is the one where the girl is running away from the dinosaurs. I have no idea if that, because I know that there was two dinosaur ones in there, but one of them is a girl. She's running away and she can't really fight, almost like a Resident Evil esque type of thing, Silent Hill. Um, but one thing to note about that one was that it was really slow, in my opinion. It used stealth, and that could possibly be a bad thing. But I think this one is native, not native, but it is, well, it is native, but it's going to be exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2, which I find crazy because I think, these types of games are coming exclusively to Switch. It's like that's a plus. That's a plus. Your audience is going to be very happy. Not to mention you're hitting a core uh, you're just getting a lot of money from it, to be honest with you. And a lot of big AAA developers don't really realize that. But the third thing is Hollow Knight Switch 2 Edition. I'm not gonna lie, this one I didn't really expect to shadow drop just today. I don't know if they had a release date beforehand. I remember this was coming, I just don't know exactly when. But I love Hollow Knight. I love the aesthetic and the case may be. But at the end of the day, I can never finish the game, and I don't know why. I don't understand. It's really one of those games where you're just like, I love it, but I play it and then I put it down and then I play it and then I put it down, and then you have this revolution that you're gonna finish it and you're gonna sit down and you actually start playing it consistently for like 20 minutes, and then all of a sudden it's gone. It vanishes from the atmosphere. I think maybe this would be the update. Again, I'm just saying this for like the 100th time. I don't think it's ever gonna get me in, but whatever. The next thing we have here is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. This one I was especially hyped about. Now let me just say this. Okay? Final Fantasy is not necessarily my favorite gaming series of all time, but it is definitely up there within my top 5. And the fact that Square Enix was able to encapsulate this big world into this little console and it's able to look decent. What magic are we doing here? Square Enix and Capcom seem to be the really driving factor here for these, for in terms of third party. And it's funny because Nintendo treated Final Fantasy VII Remake that literally just came out like a month ago, not even. They're treating that like a first party game, and it's crazy. I really had to step back and I'm just like, wow, like this is crazy that we are actually getting these types of games on Nintendo Switch 2. Like a lot of us were complaining, and again, I'm complaining about it again. That we don't really have a lot of current gen things, but this is one of the very few things that I will say that I am very appreciative of. I think the first Final Fantasy VII Remake, the first game, was very, very good. I didn't really get to finish Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I am actually getting through the game right now on my PlayStation 5, but I may or may not wait until this comes out. It's coming out in June, which, again, I just want to I want to reestablish here that the first remake came on Nintendo Switch. It's been less than half of a year, and we're already getting it. Now, I understand it's a lot, maybe reused assets, and it is, and it's a lot of the same thing. But I think at the end of the day, if you've ever played Rebirth, I certainly questioned how are they going to encapsulate all of this world, especially because the PlayStation 5 version looks already very blurry. Oh my God, I really cannot speak to it. Blurry. But at the end of the day, they did it. That's great. Pragmata, Capcom has just been killing it. Obviously, Resident Evil 9 as well. These games are going to be bangers, okay? No joke. These games are going to do numbers on Nintendo Switch 2. And yeah, honestly, this lineup is looking pretty bare. Well, the games that I listed were pretty good. But what I'm saying is when it... But yeah, I mean, look, the amount of games that I just said, they're all going to be bangers, right? In my opinion. I think these are the ones that are actually going to do extremely well on Nintendo Switch 2. But at the end of the day, when we really look at this, it's worrying me a little bit because Nintendo Switch 1, they were really trying hard to grasp an audience. They really wanted everybody to kind of feed into this. You can play everywhere, anywhere, wherever you want. And that was kind of like their motto. Going into this one, it really does feel like, and shout outs to Ken Krista, it really truthfully feels like this is just the bare minimum that they can give, kind of just satisfying us. And that kind of worries me because that means to me that they really have not been working on as much products as we thought that they were. Now, obviously, this could mean that they're still holding stuff for maybe another Nintendo Direct, which I do maybe think that there's going to be another one. I'm not going to say that I know the entire schedule and say that, oh my God, it's only going to happen in February, which a lot of people tend to do. But look, they released one when they released one. At the end of the day, like I said at the end or at the beginning of the video, their jobs are not necessarily to give what we want, but at the end of the day, there needs to be some surprise factor. There needs to be something that encapsulates people to really want to go in and really, buy this thing. And don't get me wrong, sales are doing extremely well, but at the end of the day, we need to be doing more. Like this is... it's kind of like the PlayStation 5 all over again, where you're buying a current gen console and you're not really getting much besides cross-platform, cross-gen, whatever you want to call it, things. It's like I'm buying a PlayStation 5 and I have a game that's from 2013, and it's releasing also for the PlayStation 4. It's like, am I really getting my money's worth here? And a lot of people really question that. I feel like that's something that we really need to look at. But I'm gonna end it there. I'm not gonna go too much into everything, but let me know what you guys think. This is a bit worrying, but I do see some light at the end of the hallway there, whatever you want to call that analogy. But I hope you guys have a fantastic night and take care.